Hi, and welcome back to another car conversation on this beautiful winning Wednesday. Y'all, let me be honest, this is take 2 of getting this video done because my sinuses are giving me a fit. 1 minute my nose is stopped up, then it's running. So I said, nope, we got to stop the video and start all over. So fingers crossed, pray with me because we need to get this done now because I have other things to do. But before I jump in and tell you what today's title is, if you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please make sure you subscribe, tap the bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. Give this video a thumbs up and always be sure to share it with someone that can use the information that I share with you. If this is not your first rodeo, welcome back. Y'all know I miss you and I don't get a chance to see you. Now, if you see a little perspiration on my face, I am glistening a little bit because right now it's 73 degrees and it's not warm enough to cut on my AC. So I have my windows cracked. So if you hear a lot of noise, I know they're doing some work down the street and these birds are in this tree across the street making all this hideous noise. So I do apologize for that. Between that and my sinuses, y'all, we're going to get through this video. Now, today's topic, I'm going to be sharing 6 signs that someone wants you to fail. And this is based off Stoic wisdom. So let's jump right on in. Number 1, they downplay your achievements. When you share your success, they respond with sarcasm or silence. They change the topic of your success or try to make it seem small. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike your enemy." Can I say that one more time? The best revenge is to be unlike your enemy. Stay humble, but never dim your light to make them feel comfortable. Too many times I've seen people play small because they didn't want somebody else to be uncomfortable. And I'll be honest with you, that was me at one time. And then I realized I cannot help that God has put something in me that he may not have put in someone else. Now, I'm not rubbing it in their face, but by the same token, I'm not going to play small and do things in a way just to make you comfortable. If my success makes you uncomfortable, then that's a problem with you. It has nothing to do with me at all. It has everything to do with you. And here's the thing. When I see people excelling in their business, their finances, their health and wellness, jobs, whatever, I'm taking notes. I am taking copious notes because I'm like, okay, you know what? I see them doing this. I need to try that. Maybe not the exact same thing, but something similar so I can get my business to grow the way theirs is. If their finances are growing because they're investing and doing stock trading and all this other stuff, I'm taking notes because I want to do the same thing. If it's working for you, if God is blessing you, guess what? My blessing is on the way as well. So never would I knock anything that anybody is doing. But to unpack this a little bit, when you share your success, people respond with sarcasm or silence. You know, people, and we all have experienced, we shared our success about whatever it is, and somebody said, oh yeah, that's nice. But you know what, girl, let me tell you about what I got coming up. I'm going to Cabo. I'm going to San Juan, Puerto Rico, wherever it is that they're going. So they just completely glossed over the good news that you shared, which basically says, I hear you, I don't care, but let me tell you about what I'm doing, because I want you to care about what I'm doing. I just don't care about what you're doing. And people do that. So you've got to keep your radar and your antennas up to watch for people that do that. And it's all right to say, you know what, that's great. I'm so glad that you're looking forward to that trip. Girl, what you going to do when you get there? And let them tell you the story. And then you double back and say, now back to what I was saying before you cut me off to tell me your good news. I've done ABCXYZ. Now, if they try to gloss over it again, look at your watch and say, you know what, it's getting late. I really have to go. We'll talk later, okay? Because you need to cut people off, because that means they don't give a damn about you. Excuse my language, but they don't. They don't give a damn about you. It's always about what they're doing. And you've seen people, because I've seen it too, where when you're doing something good or somebody else is doing something good, they don't clap. They just go, whatever. And you're cheering whoever that person is, you're cheering them on. But this individual over here, they're so filled with hatred that they can't be happy for other people. Honey, let me tell you something. I'm happy for everybody. Because like I said, when God is blessing you, I know mine is coming next. I know mine is on the way. So what do I have to gain by hating on you and your success? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Or they'll say, well, you know, that's nice that they recognized you for that project. But I mean, what about all the other stuff that you've done? Okay, well, we're not talking about all the other stuff that person's done. We're talking about this project right here that they're being recognized for. Just go with it and say, hey, congratulations, well deserved. But don't play it off as if it's no big deal. Or you may say something like, well, that's nice, but honey, on my job, when I did this, you had this big elaborate project going on, and you got a big bonus or what have you. Again, you're sweeping their success under the rug. Don't do that. If you can't say nothing nice, then just shut the hell up. Excuse my language. Let me get back to my notes. Number 2, they disappear when you need support. They are never there when things get tough, but the moment you win, they reappear and want to take credit for your success or to gossip about you. Real friends stay with you in silence, not just in celebration. That says it all right there. A real friend is with you in the quiet times of whatever that thing is that you're doing, not just when you're celebrating. See, because people love to come around when you celebrate so they can say, oh yeah, that's my girl, that's my guy. I remember when they told me they wanted to do whatever that thing is, and I was giving them all this ideas and whoop-de-woo. But where were you during the quiet times? How come you weren't there supporting them and encouraging them when they needed you? But like I said, those same people, they'll come back around, be so quick to tell people, hey, it was my idea. I gave them the idea for that. Really? And you might have. You very well might have. But my whole thing is, again, where were you when things weren't going so well? Or they just want to come back around so they can get all the tea. As young folks say, they want to get all the tea so they can go back and gossip about you. Girl, you know what? Michelle's trying to do ABC, XYZ, but it ain't working, honey. Yeah, she tried this, but that ain't work. She tried that. That didn't work. You have those people too. Number 3, they pretend to give you advice, but secretly discourage you. Y'all, this is one that just gets under my skin and I cannot stand it. They will tell you to be realistic with your plans or that it's too hard and it'll never work. They make it sound like they are concerned, but in fact, they are just jealous of you. And that jealousy is wrapped in kindness. Yes, I said it. Sometimes jealousy is wrapped in kindness. Seneca said we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Don't let your doubts limit your potential. Let's unpack that. So when somebody says to me, Michelle, I'm thinking about starting a worm farm. Now, I don't like creepy crawly things, so that wouldn't work for me. But you say, hey, I'm thinking about starting a worm farm so that I can put, if you ever gone fishing, you go to the bait shop and you get a can or plastic jar with worms in it to fish. Hopefully I'm not the only one know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you go to the bait shop and you get those. So maybe you want to start a worm farm and sell your worms to bait shops. Now, some people will look at you and go, what in the Sam Hill is wrong with you? Girl, that is never going to work. Why would you want to do that? Why would you waste your... Don't do that. When somebody comes to you with their plan or their idea, I don't care if it sounds crazy as all get out. Support them. If that is your friend, your family member, whoever they are to you, support them. Now, some people may say, well, Michelle, why would I support something that's just idiotic or it's not going to work? Who told you it's not going to work? Who told you that? Do you have insight into the future to know whether something's going to work? I don't know. So how do you know? So again, if you tell me you want to do something and it may sound just as crazy as I don't know what, but I'm going to encourage you anyway. And I've had people say, but Michelle, all you're doing is setting them up. Am I? Am I setting them up or am I encouraging them to go for their goal? Because here's what happens. When you go for your goal, things may not work out exactly the way you planned, but you're going to learn along the way. You're going to learn what works and you're going to learn what doesn't work. And the stuff that doesn't work, you can put that on the shelf and focus on the stuff that is working and build upon that to make it something better. But never, ever, ever will I tell somebody that their idea is stupid and it's never going to work, because I don't know that. I'm not God. I can't see into the future, so I don't know if it's going to work or not. And again, it may sound like a crazy idea, but who am I to put water on your flame? Come on now, y'all, stop doing that. Stop doing that. And people will say, yeah, but you just setting them up for failure. No, you're not. I'm encouraging you to go for your dreams. Live your dreams to the fullest. You can do anything that you put your mind to. But if I discourage you, and here's the other thing, and I'm going to move on. But here's the other thing. If I discourage you on that one thing that sounds crazy as I don't know what, to me, Because remember, when we have ideas, God has put those ideas into those individuals. Like what he's put into me, he didn't tell you about it. And what he's given you, he didn't tell me about it. And so when you pour water on that flame, you just never know. You might be discouraging them from ever wanting to step out on faith and do something because they're afraid that it's not going to work. Why? Because you said so. Stop running your mouth. Learn to shut up and stop discouraging people. Let them make their own mistakes. Everybody, when we were younger, we had to crawl before we could walk, right? And so your parents didn't discourage you. Oh, no, Johnny, don't take that step because you're going to fall and hit your head on the coffee table. Well, maybe not the coffee table, but you're going to fall and get a rug burn. No, Johnny had to take that first step, and then the second and the third and so on until Johnny learned how to walk. Johnny fell down. Susie fell down quite a few times before they learned how to walk. Let me move on back to my notes. Number 4, they imitate you but never appreciate you. Y'all, that's powerful. I'm going to say it again. They imitate you, but never appreciate you. So they copy your style, your words, your ideas, and they never give you any credit. And that's called envy disguised as admiration. Y'all, that's powerful. Can I say it one more again? That's called envy described as admiration. A wise person stays strong, knowing that imitation is the loudest form of flattery. Did y'all just hear what I said? So when you got people that want to imitate and do what you do, but they never appreciate what you do, you have no idea how you are singing my praises silently. Because I know, and other people know, that you're only doing it because I'm doing it. And I'm flattered that you would think enough of me to imitate what I'm doing to try to make it work for you. But as I said before, in another point, what I do may not work for you. Why? Because God didn't give that vision. He didn't give my vision to you. He gave it to me. So what you're doing is taking what you see and trying to run with it. And it may work to a certain extent. It might. I don't know. Nor am I really concerned about it. But the reality is that there are people that want to be like you and they want to do things the way that you do, but they will never appreciate you doing it. But they want you to clap for them and cheer them on while they're trying to be successful copying what you did, but they never appreciate you. But I love that it's called envy disguised as admiration. Y'all, I love it. And again, imitation is the loudest form of flattery. Let me move on. Number 5, they suddenly compete with you. They see your growth as a threat, not as inspiration. And every time you improve, they rush to prove that they are better. And I have a quote here: the wise man doesn't compete. He evolves silently. Y'all, that's powerful. I love it. Powerful. So whenever people feel the need to compete with you because they see that what you're doing is working, and they go, oh, you know what? Well, she has a successful knitting business. I'm going to start me one. Well, mine's going to be better because I'm going to use gold knitting needles or whatever it is that you use in knitting. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm going to use gold ribbons, or I'm going to use platinum. Okay, a leaf just flew in my window, y'all. Good grief. Whatever it is that you're doing, they've got a 10x it, is what I'm trying to say. And it's sad that people feel like they have to be in competition. Let me just say this, y'all. I'm in competition with no one. Absolutely no one. There are tons of people on YouTube. There are tons of people on TikTok doing motivational videos. I'm not trying to compete with them. The only person that Michelle competes with is the person that she was yesterday. And I want you to be the same way. The only person that you should be competing with is the person that you were yesterday. Yes, I'm always in competition to make sure I can be a better person today than I was yesterday. And I think I've accomplished that. So tomorrow, I'm going to be competing to become a better version of Michelle on Thursday than I was here today on Wednesday. So I don't know why people feel the need to compete. I tell people all the time, I'm not trying to compete with you. I'm doing me, you do you. Same thing within the gym. I'm not competing with anybody in the gym. But when it came time to go to that meet and put on that singlet and move that weight, that's when I'm in competition. But when I'm in the gym, I'm just training. I'm not in competition with anybody in that gym for any reason. I'm not trying to prove anything to you. You don't have anything to prove to me. So just remember that. There are always going to be people that smile up in your face, but they're plotting and planning to see how they can do what you do, but they want to do it better. And I guess in a business sense, businesses do that all the time. They say, hey, you know, McDonald's is known for their soft serve ice cream. So Wendy's has to figure out how they can one exit or 5x or even 10x it to make their soft serve ice cream have sprinkles and glitter and shoot rockets or whatever. So in big business, yeah, I do understand that. But when we're just being our natural selves, let's stop feeling like we need to compete with what everybody else is doing. And number 6, they celebrate your failures in silence. Let me say that again. They celebrate your failures in silence. So when you fall, they act neutral, but deep down, they are satisfied. Always remember that silence can be louder than words. Stay focused. Use every betrayal as fuel for your self-mastery. Not everyone around you is your friend. I've said that before. Not everybody around you is your friend. I used to tell my daughter this growing up. She'll say, Mommy, my friend this, my friend that. And I'll call my daughter Mom. I said, Mom, always remember, everybody's not your friend, sweetie. Those are acquaintances. They're people that you know, but everybody should not get the stamp of friend placed on their forehead, because they're not. I know a lot of people, but I have a small circle of friends, people that I call friend. I know a lot of people, but that circle of friends is very, very small, and everybody should be like that. But it's sad when, what did I just say? Oh, that not everyone around you is your friend. And a wise person never reacts. They simply observe, learn, and they move in silence. Can I say that again? When you find that people are silently clapping for you when you fall down or whatever you're doing is falling apart, you don't have to react. And you're going to know it. Let me just say this. You're going to know it, but you don't have to react. You simply observe them, you learn, and then you move in silence. Keep your circle small, keep your mind strong, and never let your enemy distract your purpose. Let's unpack this really quickly. So we started out by saying that when you fall, they act neutral, but deep down inside, they're satisfied. Always remember that silence can be louder than words. I tell people this all the time when I'm coaching with my clients. Silence is always going to be louder than anything that you can say. So if we're in a session and I'm talking to you, I'm asking questions, what you don't say speaks louder to me than what you do say. Because I'm watching your facial expressions, I'm watching your, if you have that nervousness, maybe you're sitting there and you're tapping your feet, you're shaking your legs, or you're twiddling your hands, whatever it is, that body language is telling me everything that I need to know. And most times people don't even realize it. That's why I always tell people, I listen to what folks say, but I'm listening more to what you're not saying. I'm listening more to how you react. Because that's telling me what I really need to know. Lip service, as somebody always says, a set of lips will say anything. And you'll say anything that you think I want to hear. But your actions speak louder than your words. So you need to stay focused on every betrayal and use that as fuel for your self-mastery. See, every time somebody betrays you, I know it hurts. I know you want to go off and lay hands on them, but don't. We're not doing that. We are not doing that. Use that as fuel that you need to keep going to get to the next level. Because once you reach level 10, then you can look back and say, see, all that foolishness that you were doing, it didn't affect me, because God still blessed me to get where I needed to be. And again, keep your circle small. Keep it very, very small. Keep your mind strong and never let their envy distract your purpose. Yo, we're going to end on that. We've got to learn not to allow other people's envy to distract our purpose. And if you're not careful, that envy that we see coming from them, that hatred, it will distract you from doing what God has called you to do. And so where you were on a path to go straight, you're letting their hatred veer you off to take a detour to the left. And that's not where God told you to go. And then when things don't work out, they're extra happy. You're frustrated, but all you had to do was stay on the path. Don't let that bother you. People are going to think what they want to think. They're going to say what they want to say. Who cares? Who cares? At the end of the day, are you paying my bills? Are you putting food on my table? Do you have a heaven or a hell to put me in? And the answer is no to all three of those. So who cares? Let people think what they want to think. Let them hate if they want to hate. Acknowledge it so you'll know how to move with people. It's almost like that snake in the grass theory. When you know what the snake is, you don't have to worry about being bit because you're not going to go anywhere near it. So, take note of it, but don't allow it to get you off track for where God has told you to go. Too many people miss out on that blessing, or they miss getting to the finish line because they got distracted. Y'all remember, and I promise I'm done. Y'all remember the story of the tortoise and the hare? And remember, the rabbit got so far ahead, and the tortoise can't move it so fast. But the rabbit got so far ahead, and he said, you know what? I'm going to take me a little nap. So he leans up against a tree, put his hand behind his head, and dozes off, takes a nap. And when he wakes up to the sound of cheering. And he looks around, he's like, oh my God. And he realized that he was so cocky, so full of himself, that he fell asleep and slept longer than he should have, because he thought there was no way that this turtle was going to win this race. When all he had to do was just head to the finish line, cross it, and be done with it. No, you thought, nope, I'm ahead of schedule. I'm going to sit back and take me a nap. And while you were napping, that turtle kept putting one foot in front of the other, kept moving. It was a slow journey, but he kept moving, and he crossed the finish line. And then there that rabbit was, standing there looking dumb. Excuse me. Okay, y'all, that's it. That's all I have. I shared with you 6 signs that someone wants you to fail. I need you to take note of this and be careful about the circle that you keep. But as I said before, keep things to yourself. The problem is we want to tell everybody everything, and I get it. I do. I absolutely get it. We get excited, and we want to share that good news with other people because we think that these people are our friends, and they're there to encourage us, as they should be. One thing's for certain, 2 things for sure. The friends in my circle, my good girlfriend, aka my big sis, I am so happy. She has a business called Lachey's Kitchen. Look her up on Etsy and also on Instagram. I am so happy for her. In fact, she inspired me, and I even shared that with her. She inspired me to add a beauty line to my journals, because all of my journals are Christian based and they're about bettering people. And so I decided, hey, you know what? While people are getting themselves better on the outside, why not create something that will, on the inside, why not create something that will help get them better on the outside, which is how I came up with my body scrubs, because I love them. And I'm working on my lip scrubs. I have to do, especially this time of year, oh honey, I have to do a lip scrub once a week, because your lips get dry and you're constantly putting on chapstick and it's just not working. That's because you got to get all that dead skin off. But I digress. So it just encouraged me to add those beauty products with the journals and the devotionals that I have. That way I'm helping you work on yourself on the inside as well as the outside. But I give credit where credit is due, and I got the idea from what my big sis is doing in her business. And I talked to her recently. She said everything is going good. So God is good. I'm praying for more customers for her, more customers for myself. My good friend Mark, he is getting his photography business up and running. So he and I are partnering to do some things. When you buy my bundles, i.e. the journals or devotional, along with the body scrub, lip scrub, we're adding a free photo shoot or headshot. I guess it could be a headshot or body shot. But anyway, so we're working on teaming up that way. But it's all about wanting to see other people succeed. I don't want to see anybody fail. I don't have to like you. I don't have to care for you, but I don't want to see anybody fail. And I believe if we can encourage each other the way we encourage our favorite artists and our favorite sports player, if we do that amongst ourselves, Honey, I'm trying to tell you, won't nobody be able to do anything with us. Now, on that note, y'all, that's it. That's all I'm going to do, because I have a meeting at church tonight at 7 o'clock. And it's almost 4 o'clock, so I want to go in here and make another batch of my body scrub, the sandalwood, since my daughter loved it so much. Thank you, Nene. And she took that, and her and her boyfriend were like, oh my God, I love this. So I need to make another one. And I have 5 fragrances that I'm going to use to make my lip scrub and get that done before I head out the door to my meeting. Now, having said all that, you guys, go out there, enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Wherever you go, whatever you do, have fun, be safe, okay? Have fun and be safe. Promise me that you'll do that, because I want you to come back here on Friday when I have another motivational topic for you. And as I love to end my videos, I love you all to the moon and back. I really do. Many of you I don't know. Most of you I probably never will meet. But I love you all to the moon and back. And I love you too much to let you stay the way you are, which is why I take time to do what I do, to encourage and motivate each and every one of you. Each and every one of you. Because I know that the best is yet to come. And all I ask is that you continue to pray for me, because I'm always praying for you, and watch God change things. Love you all. We'll talk again on Friday.